Non-phthalate inks are something new on the market. What are they? Well, first of all, let's understand what inks are. Inks have three basic building blocks. First is PVC, polyvinyl chloride. That's plastic, and it's in a powdered form. It's a white powder. And then, of course, there's pigment, which is color. And then there is something called plasticizer, which, when mixed in, makes this ink sort of semi-liquid so that you're able to spread it across the screen and print and so forth. For years, the ink manufacturers have used plasticizers that work really well for printing. Well, very recently, the government has stepped in because of safety concerns, and they say, oh, these phthalates might be dangerous to children, who are chewing on the images. And so they have these rules about using so-called non-phthalate inks. Well, all that really is a different plasticizer. And the problem with that is they don't work really well with screen printing. So they're doable maybe, but they're really not ideal. And the printers that I talk to, most of them really aren't really happy with it. If they're using these non-phthalate inks, it's under duress. And they're putting it up with it, and that's about the extent of it. The other thing about non-phthalate, you have to keep them separate from the so-called phthalate inks, the inks that we've traditionally used. You can't mix them. It's like running a kosher kitchen. You got to use different tools. You got to be absolutely clinical about it, or you violated the non-phthalate status of the ink. Here's a real simple solution to the whole thing. Don't do any of that. Use water-based inks, because water-based inks don't have plasticizers in them, therefore there's no phthalate. The only thing about water-based inks is they're really great on light colors and whites, but they're not really great on darks. So that's a problem. And so unless you're underbasing with white and then putting color on top, and it's still not the best deal. But that is a solution, and if you can steer your customers in the direction of water-based ink, you've solved your problem. So that's what I would suggest. Go to water-based if at all possible. So the non-phthalate inks are for a very narrow segment of the market, which is very young children. And if that's not your market, it's not an issue. You can go with the inks that are more printable, that are friendlier to you. But that's the story on the non-phthalate inks. Only get into them if you really have to, and then observe all the rules. Any questions? Give us a holler. We're here to help. Like talking with you.